DSI is the largest distributor of clean burn in the country. We have a lot of states that we're a distributorship in, and I am just a small picture of DSI working just in Illinois, but every customer that I work on, I feel like they're a friend of mine. And usually by the time I leave, they know me. The next time I come in, I don't have to introduce myself. They remember who I am because of the way the work is performed. If they ever have a problem, they can call me direct. I stand behind my work. Anything that happens to that furnace, I'm just a phone call away from these people. We're not just after the sale. We're actually behind the service too.
Well, Jim White, I would consider him more or less a friend as somebody that I would require service from, because he comes in, he takes good care of me. I didn't realize how big of a company DSI was. I thought it was just more or less a small town operation, because Jim, he's the greatest guy, and he just acts like one of my friends.
In all of our dealings with DSI, since we started working with DSI to purchase clean burn units, both Rick and Jim have been very helpful. It's not like dealing with a large corporation. I feel like I'm dealing with my two local gentlemen, and I've always been very happy with their response.
When you call DSI and have an interest in a clean burn furnace, our sales staff comes on site to look at your shop. Each installation is different, and we try to tailor our furnaces and installation to your needs. So although you might have a particular idea in your mind what you think you need, we might come with some knowledge and say, hey, there's a better way of doing it.
DSI's been very prompt with us, very professional. Yes, they did come in and they looked our location over, checked the vent, checked the location, checked our square footage. Actually, they felt they needed to change around our vent system some for the system to work. They did that. They were right. It's what it needed. Anytime I've called them for anything, they've been right there. Again, they've been professional. I really haven't needed much for this unit, but when we've called them, they've been right there. They've checked in on us. We've received letters from them. We've received updates from them. I believe they take care of their product well.
When DSI came in and installed the clean burn machine, they came in, they were in and out in one day. They had everything up and running. They weren't in our way. They worked around us. We didn't really even know they were even here, other than we watched them put the machine up in the air.
DSI is good because they will follow up with phone calls before the season starts. They want to make sure that you are initially set up for the winter season. DSI is good about maintaining follow-up. They maintain the system well, and anytime you have a question or problem, they're there with a phone call and will usually be right there within the same day or so to take care of a problem if it arises, so they're good.
You're buying an entire company. It's not just me as a salesperson, it's not just the dealer principals in an office somewhere. It's an active involvement to satisfy the customer's needs at all time. That customer roughly said he pays our wages. So he has to be on a comfort level that he will be satisfied. And that is the DSI philosophy.
In my search for new furnaces, I have to be very candid and say there were two bidders that were less money. But they were, airmailed into me, dropped in my shop. I had to go find an installer, which I probably could have done. Even some of my techs are very capable. And I would have had to install those furnaces myself. I think I could have saved $1 or $2. I'm not sure. But the remarkable thing I found with DSI is when I mentioned this to them, they put me in contact right away with Ron Ludowski from Canada, I believe co-owner of their organization. We chatted 2 or 3 different times on the telephone. I expressed my concerns. He told me that he'd be in the area, and he came right here to my building, the shop. We looked at the circumstances here, what I needed. I immediately knew that I was dealing with someone with integrity, with understanding of my needs, and the ability to put in really, really good furnaces at a competitive price and I've never looked back. They've served me extremely well, and I've appreciated that personal contact, that personal service.
The two guys that own DSI were actually at one point installing these things. They know how to do it, they know how they work. If you talk to them, they know everything about the furnace and how it works. So you're not getting into a company that has just purchased some furnaces and are throwing them in. These guys know their product inside and out.
It is satisfying on my part to sell a furnace, install it, service it, and then when you talk to the customer, you know, 2 years down the road, I meet them at the hockey rink, and I've had this happen more than once, where they say, you know, that furnace was the best purchase I've ever made.
We're involved every day, my partner and I. We're still involved servicing furnaces once in a while, and involved in installation, so that we can stay fresh with all the new things that are coming up. And you know, I still periodically get customers calling me directly. I can't seem to pawn them off on our service guys. They want to talk to me because we built trust with them, and they understand that even though we may not be out there every day, we still understand the equipment and can solve their problems.